even though we're not quite ready to start.
Who do we have at 703 area code, Marty? You know? That's not one of us.
I don't know. 703, 606. Could you identify yourselves for us?
Hi, this is Margot Pedroso. We have one of the items for new business.
Yes. Thank you, Margot.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Charlie's coming in now, Mr. Chairman.
Charlie, how are you? It's Greg.
Then before balls. That's the extension.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So what we'll ask, other than commission members, for you to mute yourselves until it's your time on the agenda. Commission members will be unmuted, but other folks, just so we don't hear dogs barking and toilets flushing, etc.
Are we looking for time, Marty?
I have 7 o'clock, Mr. Chairman, if you want to get the meeting started.
Get this rolling. The time is 7 p.m. I'll call to order the City of Torrington Planning and Zoning Commission meeting for May 12th, 2021. In response to the governor's executive orders regarding COVID-19, this meeting will be held remotely using the Zoom online meeting platform. Members of the public wishing to listen to the meeting in real time can do so by calling 1-646-558-8656. Meeting ID 795-950-7035. Password is 907148. Again, it's a remote meeting via Zoom. It is not to be held at City Hall this evening. Serving on the commission this evening is Tom Tellman, Donovan Riley, Diane Carroll, Jim Babinski, Starley Arias, myself, Greg Mealy. Also in attendance is our city planner, Martin Connor. Moving on to agenda item number 3, minutes for approval for 4/14/21. Do I have a motion, please? Either Starley or Diane.
Make a motion.
Donovan. I have a motion. To have a second.
I second.
Thank you. All those in favor? We have an abstention from Jim and Tom who weren't there. Moving on to agenda item number 4, public hearing scheduled for 7 p.m. Wednesday, May 12th, 2021, remote meeting. It's not to be held at City Hall. A, special exception 21-03 and site plan 1369, applicant Loyot Enterprises LLC, DBA Family Propane LLC, location 4 Pulver Street. Proposal, install 30,000 gallon propane filling plant, utility companies, and energy production. Serving on the commission this evening is Tom Tallman, Donovan Riley, Diane Carroll, Jim Babinski, Starley Arias, myself, Greg Mealy. Also in attendance is our city planner, Martin Connor. Marty, do you have the legal notice for that, please?
I do. The Planning and Zoning Commission has scheduled a public hearing on the following applications on Wednesday, May 12th, 2021. In response to the governor's executive orders regarding COVID-19, this meeting will be held remotely using Zoom online meeting platform. Members of the public wishing to listen to the meeting in real time can do so by calling 1-646-558-8656. The meeting ID is 795-950-7035. The password is 907148. Public comments may be submitted in writing to the Land Use Office before 2 p.m. on Tuesday, May 11th, 2021. Written comments should be sent electronically to Martin Connor at torringtonct.org or by mail to the Land Use Office, City Hall, 140 Main Street, Torrington, Connecticut. A, special exception 21-03 in site plan 1369, Loyat Enterprises LLC, doing business as Family Propane LLC, 4 Pulver Street, install 30,000 gallon propane filling tank, utility companies, and energy production. Time of the hearing is 7 p.m. Copies of the above mentioned plans and applications are on file in the Land Use Office, City Hall, 140 Main Street, Torrington, Connecticut. Greg Mealy, Chair, Planning and Zoning Commission, dated in Torrington, Connecticut, this 23rd day of April, 2021.
Thank you, Marty. Is the applicant in attendance? And please state your name and address for the record, please.
Frank Loyat, 146 Burwell Road, New Hartford, Connecticut. I'm the president of the Family Propane.
Thank you, sir. Please give us a rundown of what you're looking to do there, please.
So we have this, the old Kelly property, which was an oil company for 100 years. And I'm trying to put in a 30,000 gallon tank, much similar to the one that was approved for Quinalco on South Main Street. And basically rehabilitate that disastrous piece of property.
That's right there at the end of Pulver Street, correct?
Yes, sir. Yeah, yes, it is. Yep.
Marty, you have a memo that you put together, please?
I did. I wrote a memo to the commission dated May 10th, 2021. Frank Loyat Enterprises, doing business as Family Propane LLC, has filed a special exception and site plan application to install a 30,000 gallon propane filling station and propane filling station. The property is owned by Pulver Street LLC. It is 2.089 acres in size. It's located in the I industrial zone. Utility companies and energy production is a use allowed by special exception in the I zone per section 3.1, subsection 20 of the zoning regulations. This property has been historically used for energy production going back to the early 1900s. It has a railway siding on the property for coal and still houses the historic scale office, which currently serves as Mr. Loyat's office for Family Propane LLC. It has been used by oil companies, and Mr. Loyat currently operates his propane gas delivery business from this location. The propane tank will be used to refill his bulk delivery trucks. He submitted a statement of use in connection with his application, which was attached to my memo. The applicant has submitted an A2 survey titled Zoning Location Survey prepared for Frank Loyat, number 4 Pulver, Bancroft, and Gleason Street, Torrington, Connecticut, dated 3/12/21, revised 5/5/21 by Berkshire Engineering and Surveying LLC. In reviewing the plans and documents submitted, I have the following comments. An on-site meeting was held 4/21/21 with Assistant Public Works Director / City Engineer, Fire Marshal and Deputy Fire Marshal, Mr. Loyat, and the Project Engineer Dennis McMorrow, PE, and myself. We reviewed the site plan submitted and discussed access to the property, truck access, security, and ongoing cleanup of the site. The revised plans have addressed my comments from that meeting. The application, Fire Marshal review. The application was referred to Fire Marshal Ed Becerra. He indicated in an email to me dated 5/10 that all his comments made during our on-site 4/21/21 meeting had been addressed in the revised plans. Police traffic, no comments were received from Sergeant Baldus of the Police Traffic Unit. WPCA, no comments were received from Ray Drew. Inland wetlands, lighting and landscaping, there are no regulated inland wetlands activities proposed. This constitutes a favorable report from the Inland Wetlands Commission. No new landscaping is proposed. Existing flood lighting should be replaced with full cutoff fixtures. Engineering review. Paul Consens, PE, Assistant Public Works Director, City Engineer, in an email to the project engineer, said, please add the widths of the gravel driveways towards Gleason exit and verify that trailers will stay on the gravel surface in the slight turn at the gate. 2, although the maximum commercial driveway width for one-way traffic is 15 feet, I will waive this specification in recognition of the type of vehicle and turning area requirement. 3, given the site is not being regraded, the applicant will assume all responsibility for managing stormwater on the property and ensure that all adjacent properties will not experience any adverse effects from the stormwater migrating / flowing off the property. And the revised site plan that I stated earlier in the memo addressed all of Paul's comments, and he had indicated to me by email that he was okay with the revised plans. The building official, no comments were received from building official Kevin Gillette. Conclusion, I recommend that the commission make a finding that the special exception for locating a 30,000 gallon propane tank and fueling station meets the general and specific standards for special exception approval. I recommend approval with the following condition of approval. I had my memo related Paul's Hudson's comments, but those have been addressed. So my only recommended condition of approval is that the existing outdoor floodlight fixtures be replaced with full cutoff fixtures. And I should read into the record the statement of use that Mr. Loyat had prepared. It says statement of use, the purpose, install a 30,000 gallon propane bulk storage tank to service our bulk delivery trucks. The hours of operation would be Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. The current use, our propane gas company headquarters, bulk truck, parking, and tank storage. The proposed use would be refilling our bulk delivery trucks, office, and tank storage. Traffic frequency, our propane bulk trucks load approximately twice daily during the heating months, reduced to once daily during non-heating months. Transport load approximately 60 times annually. Transport will usually follow business operating hours. The egress, transport to enter via Pulver Street, exiting onto the Gleason Street gate. Parking, no additional parking is needed. Lighting, no additional lighting needed, but we did agree, and Mr. Loyat indicates current lighting to be replaced with full cutoff lighting. That was my memo, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Marty. Do
And
any
we did
commissioners-
not receive any correspondence for the public prior to the meeting.
Okay, thank you. Do any commissioners have any comments or questions at this point?
Tom Tellman, I just have one. 30,000 gallon, is that like Quinoco on the south end? Is that just one tank or are there's 30,000s down there, just to get an idea of size?
It's actually one of those,
Okay,
and it's much lower profile than what he has down there. This one here requires no excavation. It's not on cement saddles. It's basically comes in on 10-inch I-beam. It's kind of like a giant propane filling station you might see at a local gas station. So,
Okay.
but the size would be like Don Phillips's Quinnicles down at the south end there.
okay. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
Commissioner Tillman. Anyone else have any comments or questions at this point? All right, being none, I'll go to the public. Would anyone like to speak in favor of this application? If so, please state your name and address for the record, please. Being none, would anyone like to speak in opposition of this application? Please state your name and address for the record. All right, being none, Mr. Loya, do you have anything else to add?
No, I'm actually looking forward to being able to bring that place back to the lore that it used to be. It had become, when we first took it over, it was basically a condominium complex for homeless people and
Right.
and a hot spot for drugs. And we've kind of gotten rid of all of that already. And I got some plans. I want to do the scale house, bring it back to what it was. We've been in negotiations with the rail, possibly down the road, being able to bring some propane in by rail. And whatever else, down the future would be able to maybe do something different with that property down the road, but that's down the road.
Very good, Mr. Wyatt. Thank you very much. Time is 7:15. I declare this public hearing closed, and we'll make a motion here. I have a motion to approve special exception 21-03 and site plan 1369. The applicant is Loya Enterprises LLC, DBA Family Propane LLC, location 4 Pulver Street. The proposal is to install 30,000 gallon propane filling plant, utility companies, and energy production with the following condition. 1, the existing outdoor floodlight fixtures shall be replaced with full cutoff fixtures. And as Marty read into the record, his target points would be part of this record. I have that motion. Do I have would somebody like to make that, please?
So moved, Tom Tellman.
Thank you, Tom. Do I have a second, please?
Second, Jim Babinski.
Thank you, Jim. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Good luck, Mr. Loya.
Thank you so much. Appreciate your time.
Have a good evening.
You as well.
We're moving on to agenda item number 4B. The time is 7:16. Special exception 21-05 and site plan 1371. Public hearing. Applicant is Charles R. Ebersol Jr., location Pumping Station Road, Assessor Map 201, Block 003, Lot 001. The proposal is rebuild and 10% expansion of barn garage. Serving on the commission this evening is Tom Tellman, Donovan Riley, Diane Carroll, Jim Babinski, Starley Arias, myself, Greg Mealy. Also in attendance is our city planner, Martin Connor. Marty, you have that legal notice? Otherwise, I have it here.
I do.
Okay, thank you, Marty.
The Planning and Zoning Commission has scheduled a public hearing on the following application on Wednesday, May 12th, 2021. In response to the governor's executive orders regarding COVID-19, this meeting will be held remotely using Zoom online meeting platform. Members of the public wishing to listen to the meeting in real time can do so by calling 1-646-558-8656. The meeting ID number is 795-950-7035. The password number is 907-148. Public comments may be submitted in writing to the Land Use Office before 2 p.m. on Tuesday, May 11, 2021. Written comments should be sent electronically to Martin Connor at torringtonct.org or by mail to the Land Use Office, City Hall, 140 Main Street, Torrington, Connecticut. Special exception 2105 in site plan 1371, Charles R. Ebersol Jr. The location is Pumping Station Road, Assessor Map 201, Block 003, Lot 001. The proposal is to rebuild and a 10% expansion of a barn/garage. The time of the hearing is immediately following the close of the first public hearing, which began at 7 p.m. Copies of the above mentioned plans and applications are on file in the Land Use Office, City Hall, 140 Main Street, Torrington, Connecticut. Greg Mealy, Chair, Planning and Zoning Commission, dated Torrington, Connecticut, the 23rd day of April, 2021. Land Use Office, City of Torrington.
Thank you, Marty. Is the applicant in attendance? Please state your name and address for the record, please.
Mark Merriman, residence is 26 Pumping Station Road. The property is across the street from us, Pumping Station Road and Weed Road.
Peter, you're muted.
Peter, you gotta unmute yourself. Come on,
Peter, you're muted.
Peter. Push the unmute button.
Lower left corner.
There's nothing worse that an attorney hates than to
Forgive
be
me.
muted.
Forgive
There you
me, I
go.
didn't realize
There
it
you
was off. So, Mr.
You got it.
Merriman has done a good job to introduce himself and his wife as owners of this property. As he's indicated, their lovely house is on the east side of Pumping Station Road, and they own a piece of property directly across the street, which contains a very old barn/garage. And what they would like to do now is take that barn down and build on the same site a better looking building. We have copies of elevations for the property as part of the file. And the only thing that would be different about the new building is that it would be, we propose that it be 10% larger. All of that extra space would be on the back of the property away from the road. And we have submitted two applications, as Marty has said in the call, a application for a special exception under section 5.123, which permits such a 10% expansion. And we've submitted an application for a site plan. We have also submitted floor plans showing the existing building, the first and the second floor, and the floor plans for the proposed first and second floor. That is the internal floor plan. And I've submitted computations showing precisely what the square footage is now on the interior first and second floor. Also, the proposed interior first and second floor. And Mr. Connor, I believe, has confirmed that based on our computations that the proposed expansion will not exceed the 10% allowable under that section. The building will meet all the zoning regulations for the area. The proposed barn will be compatible and in harmony with the neighborhood. It will not hinder the appropriate development of adjacent land. It will not have a significant adverse impact on property values or the neighborhood. With respect to the site plan, the plan has been reviewed by the engineering, building, and fire marshal departments. The Merrimans have agreed to address all of the recommendations. The site plan was revised by our engineer, Ken Ricca, to make all of the changes requested by the city engineer. In conclusion, I'd like to just state that proposed barn garage will be in harmony with the character of the neighborhood, will meet all the zoning regulations, and we respectively request that the commission approve tonight the proposed 10% expansion and the site plan.
Thank you, Mr. Ebersol. Any commissioners have any questions for the attorney at this point? Otherwise, we'll go to Marty's memo. Okay, Marty, you want to read your memo, please?
Sure. I wrote a memo to the commission dated April 28th, 2021. Attorney Charles R. Ebersol Jr., on behalf of the property owners, Mark and Bridget Merriman, has filed an application to rebuild and expand the existing barn / garage on Pumping Station Road, Tax Assessor's Map 201/003/001. The existing barn / garage is on a lot with no principal dwelling, making the use non-conforming, and it does not meet the 50-foot minimum front yard setback for a structure in the R60 zone. The property is 5.65 acres in size. The Merrimans live directly across the street from the barn / garage at 26 Pumping Station Road and currently utilize it as an accessory structure for their residence. The existing barn / garage is located 18.3 feet from the front property line. The proposed barn structure will be rebuilt in the same footprint with the expansion to the rear. They have filed to rebuild and expand the barn / garage per section 5.12.3A of the zoning regulations, which state structures with non-conforming uses. A, one expansion of a structure other than a 1 or 2 family residence with non-conforming uses is permitted provided the expansion is no greater than 10% of the structure's gross floor area or 10% of the structure's cubic volume, whichever is less. 2, all applicable zoning regulations are observed. And 3, a special exception is obtained. The applicant has submitted an A2 survey titled Site Plan Prepared for Mark Merriman, Pumping Station Road, Torrington, Connecticut, dated 3/22/2021 by Ricca Associates LLC. Also submitted were drawings showing existing dimensions of the first and second floor of the existing barn garage and a computation sheet. The computation sheet indicates the existing barn garage is 24 by 34 downstairs interior, 23 foot 5 inches by 33 feet 8.5 inches, or 789.38 square feet. The upstairs interior is 23 feet 5 inches by 33 feet 5 inches, or 782.53 square feet. The total expansion allowed would be to 1,729.10 square feet. The proposed barn garage dimensions are 24 by 39. Downstairs, interior proposed 23 feet 1 inch by 38 feet 1 inch, or 879.07 square feet. The upstairs interior proposed is to be 22 feet 2 inches by 38 foot 1 inch, or 844.19 square feet. The total garage surface area proposed is 1723.26 square feet. Engineering review. Paul Cunson's PE, Assistant Public Works Director, in an email memo to me dated 4/2021, marked up the site plan and had the following comments. Residential driveways can only be 20 feet wide, maximum right of way, no radii on the street. Confirmed location of support push posts should be on private property. Property owner may need to grant an easement to Eversource Electrical. 4, show proposed spot grades at the southeast corner of the proposed parking area. 5, confirm the property can be serviced with municipal water without a septic system. 6, confirm the roof drain will not be used for a drain for domestic water from the building. 7, show COT standard detail for temporary permanent trench repair on the plan, current detail attached. Should the application be approved, the engineering comments should be addressed as a condition of approval. The applicant's engineer did address all these comments in the revised plan, and I have an email from City Engineer, Assistant Public Works Director, Paul Constance, indicating that all his comments have been addressed. Building official, Kevin Gillette, reviewed the application in a memo dated 4/26/21 to me. He indicated what information would be required to be shown on the building plan submitted in conjunction with the building permit. And I had
Excuse me,
skipped over
Marty.
page 2, so let me go
Right.
back to page 2. In reviewing the plans and documents submitted, I have the following comments. The proposed barn/garage expansion appears to comply with the 10% expansion limit. 2, a new paved driveway parking area is proposed in connection with the barn garage rebuild. A driveway permit from the engineering department will be required. 3, the new barn garage will be served by public water. The owners are proposing an orchard and garden area that will be irrigating these areas. 4, the proposed barn garage will not encroach any further into the front yard setback than the existing barn/garage and meets the required side yard and rear yard setbacks. 5, no bathroom facilities are proposed. 6, architectural elevations of the proposed barn garage, including the proposed height, should be submitted in accordance with section 8.4.3M of the regulations. And those drawings have been submitted. They've been posted on the town's website. They're part of the record, and I did send them out to the commission members. The architectural elevations can then be used by the commission to make a finding that the proposed barn garage will comply with the general standards of special exception approval, specifically 8.2.2B5. The location and height of the buildings, the location, nature, and height of walls, fences, the nature and extent of proposed signs, exterior lighting, landscaping, and open space on the site shall be such that these features shall be compatible and in harmony with the adjacent properties in the neighborhood and will not hinder or discourage the appropriate development and use of the adjacent land and buildings or significantly impair the value thereof. Also, per section 8.2.2B6, the proposed use shall not have a significant adverse effect upon the property values or appearance in the neighborhood, taking into account the topography of the lot, the character, the location, and height of proposed buildings, structures, and landscaping. Fire marshal review. The application was referred to the fire marshal at Becerra. In his letter to me dated 4/21/21, he recommended that the building should be equipped with a complete and compliant fire protection system compatible with the new construction. The fact it will be vacant during non-business hours make it a prime candidate for the delayed discovery of a fire inside. Torrington makes use of lock boxes to allow quick access by firefighters in time of an alarm without causing damage. If not already in existence, a lockbox should be installed on the exterior of the building near the main door. Fire department will use its secure master key to open the box and allow the building owner to leave appropriate building access keys inside. This eliminates any delay in entering the building or waiting for a key holder to arrive in the middle of the night. The building and area must comply with all required building and electrical codes and will be inspected by the fire marshal for compliance with the life safety code prior to issuance of a certificate of occupancy and annually thereafter. No comments were received from the police traffic unit. Jeremy Lyford, Assistant City Planner, had no comments on inland wetlands, lighting, or landscaping. There are no regulated activities proposed, so that constitutes a favorable review from the Wetlands Commission. The conclusion to my memo is when I wrote it was, provided the applicant submits architectural elevations for the barn garage that determines are harmonious with the character of the neighborhood, I recommend that the commission make a finding that the special exception for the rebuild and 10% expansion of the barn slash garage meets the general and specific standards for special exception approval. I recommend approval with the following. Actually, I had condition that would have included addressing the Assistant Public Works Director, City Engineer's comments in his memo dated 4/2021. Those comments have all been addressed by the applicant's engineer. So 2, I recommend that the applicant follow the advice of Fire Marshal Ed Bissetta contained in his letter to the city planner dated 4/21/21. And I did, once again, receive those elevations that have been requested. And in my opinion, they look very nice and are certainly in harmony with like a barn garage that we would see in the R60 zone. That's the end of my memo, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Marty. Do any commissioners have any comments or questions at this point?
I do, Donovan Riley. So Marty, can I assume because the proposed barn garage setbacks, including the garden portion and the side yard and rear yard, meet setback requirements, I can assume then that because the 10% expansion is all to the rear, that the barn itself meets the setback standards?
With the exception of the front yard setback, but it's not getting any closer than the existing front yard setback is. But
Okay,
the additional 10%, Commissioner, you're right, meets all the requirements.
Because it's all in
It's
the
like-
back.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And the side yard and the rear yards are met by quite a large distance.
Thank you, Marty.
Any other commissioners have any comments or questions at this point? All right, being none, I'll go to the public. Would anyone like to speak in favor of this application? Please state your name and address for the record.
Yes,
Being none, would,
hello, yes. I'm Jack Wozniak, and this is my wife, Crystal. We live 53 Pumping Station, we're next door, and we're delighted with the concept of what they're doing, and I'm sure they're gonna continue to beautify the property.
sir, appreciate your comment. Anyone else like to speak in favor of this application? Being none, would anyone like to speak in opposition of this application? Please state your name and address for the record. Being none, Attorney Ebersol, do you have anything to conclude here, or you're all set?
Well, thank you for the opportunity. No, we appreciate the commission's time, and I think you've made a very thorough review, and we hope that you agree that this application, or these 2 applications, can be approved this evening.
Okay. All right, the time is 7:36. I declare this public hearing closed. I have a motion, I'll read. The motion is to approve special exception 21-05 and site plan 1371, applicant Charles R. Ebersol Jr., location Pumping Station Road, assessor map 201, block 003, lot 001. The proposal is to rebuild and 10% expansion of barn slash garage with the following recommendation. 1, it is recommended that the applicant follow the advice of Fire Marshal Ed Bissetta contained in his letter to the city planner dated 4/21/21. Do I have a motion for that, please?
So moved, Donovan Riley.
Thank you, Donovan. Do I have a second, please?
Diane, second.
Thank you, Diane. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Good luck.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you very much.
Time is 7:37. We're moving on to agenda item number 5, old business. We have none. Moving on to agenda item number 6, new business, A, special exception 21-04. Applicant is Margot Pedroso, location 315 New Arlington Road. Proposal is to construct addition within front yard setback. We need to set a public hearing date. The suggested date is 5/26/21. Do I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second,
Tom
Diane.
Tellman,
Tom Thomas, sorry.
Second from Diane. Carol, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Moving on to agenda item number 6B, site 1324, applicant Harrison Goblet, location 622-634 Midgen Avenue. Proposal is a change of use to indoor recreation gym, former warehouse. Is the applicant in attendance, please?
Applicant is here. Harrison Goblet, 159 Cypress Court Road, Torrington, Connecticut.
Give us an overview of what you're looking to do, please.
We're making a personal training fitness center. Bringing in 7 to 8 local personal trainers to be training clients around this area.
Okay. Any changes to the building at all, or?
No, sir. Just we're gonna put signs outside in the parking lot, notifying members not to park at Tony's during business hours, and then company signs as well.
Any commissioners have any questions at this point?
No.
No.
Not at
Marty,
this,
do you have a memo there, please?
I wrote a memo dated May 10th, 2021. Harrison Goblet has filed a site plan application to change a portion of the building at 622 to 634 Midgen Avenue from a warehouse to an indoor recreation use gym. This 4,800 square foot space within the building is currently being used as a warehouse and at one time was approved for another indoor recreation use, rock climbing gym. The property is 25,600 square foot in size. It's located in the LB local business zone. No exterior changes are proposed to the building or parking lot. The applicant has submitted a site plan titled Improvement Location Survey prepared for John Falcone, 622 to 634 Midgen Avenue, Torrington, Connecticut, dated April 2020, revised 4/29/21 by Timothy G. Wiley Jr., land surveyor. He's also submitted a proposed floor plan for the building titled Improvement Location Survey prepared for John Falcone, 622 to 634 Midgen Avenue, Torrington, Connecticut, dated April 2021 by Timothy G. Wiley, land surveyor. The site plan indicates that adequate parking exists for the other uses on the property, the two-bedroom apartments, a one-bedroom apartment, a retail, produce and health store and warehouse use. The information table indicates 33 spaces plus 2 handicap spaces are required based on the uses proposed, and 34 spaces plus 2 handicap spaces are provided. The indoor recreation use proposed is a permitted use in the LB zone per section 3.1, subsection 6.10 of the regulations. I've made a site visit to the property. In reviewing the application and plan submitted, I have the following comments. When the space was previously used as a rock climbing gym, in this space, there were parking complaints from Greg Veras, owner of Tony's Restaurant next door. The climbing gym often had birthday parties that coincided with his busy weekend breakfast and lunch times. Rock climbing customers parked in his lot and complaints were made in this office by Mr. Veras. It will be important that the tenant and the owner, property owner, properly manage the parking so that customers do not park in Tony's Restaurant parking lot. I have suggested to Mr. Falcone that he encourage the gym parking to be on the Hurl Boulevard side and utilize a back door from that side of the building. And I did meet with Mr. Falcone. I did look at that, and it does go directly into the gym from that entrance on Hurl Boulevard. Fire Department. The application was referred to Fire Marshal Ed Becerra. His comments are contained in a letter dated 3/2/21. He recommends the building should be equipped with a complete and compliant fire protection system compatible with the change of use. The fact it'll be vacant during non-business hours make it a prime candidate for delayed discovery of a fire inside. Torrington makes use of lock boxes to allow quick access by firefighters in time of an alarm without causing damage. If not already in existence, a lockbox should be installed on the exterior of the building near the main door. The fire department will use its secure master key to open the box and allow the building owner to leave appropriate building access keys inside. This eliminates any delay in entering the building or waiting for a key holder to arrive in the middle of the night. The building and area must comply with all required building and electrical codes and will be inspected by the fire marshal for compliance with the life safety code prior to issuance of a certificate of occupancy and annually thereafter. Police traffic, no comments were received from Sergeant Boldis, Police Traffic Unit. Inland Wetlands, Lighting and Landscaping, Jeremy Lyford, Assistant City Planner, had no comments. Permits will be required for any new signage for the tenant. Engineering review, Paul Cunson's, PE Assistant Public Works Director, City Engineer, in a memo dated 5/7/21, stated, I've reviewed the above application, supporting plans and documents, and provide the following comments. The applicant has requested to convert a warehouse into an indoor recreation area / gym. It's noted that the parking is shown on the plan improvement location. Sheet 1 is existing parking that partially encroaches into the city right away. The applicant shall be aware that vehicles parked within, partially extending onto or backing into the right of way, do so at the applicant and user's own risk. WPCA, Ray Drew, Administrator, Water Pollution Control Authority, in a memo to me dated 5/5/21, indicated the applicant shall submit an application for a sewer discharge permit, which the applicant has done. He submitted that for 29/21. Additional information required: weekly days of operation, number of full-time and part-time employees, projected annual water use, projected number of clients per day, capacity reserve. Fee shall be paid prior to commencement of discharge. Fee will be determined upon receipt of items in number 2 above. The owner shall certify there are no discharges of stormwater either directly or indirectly into the sanitary sewer system from the building. Stormwater discharges shall comply with the City of Torrington Department of Engineering standards. The owner applicant shall contact WPCA to inspect the building for compliance with the Chapter 170 of the Torrington Code. Contact James Hilton to schedule an inspection. Occupants shall use best management practices to minimize the amounts of fats, oils, and greases discharged into the public sewer. Occupants shall use best management practices to minimize the use of phosphate containing cleaners and detergents. For additional information and questions, contact the WPCA. Conclusion: I recommend approval of the change of use from warehouse to indoor recreation use with the condition that the applicant addresses the comments from Ray Drew, Administrator, WPCA, contained in his memo to the city planner dated 5/5/21, and that he follow the recommendations from Fire Marshal Ed Becerra contained in his letter to the city planner. Parking must be properly managed so that customers and tenants do not park in Tony's restaurant parking lot. And that's my memo to the commission, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Marty. Any commissioners have any other comments or questions?
No.
Okay.
Marty,
Yeah,
did you
have
hear?
anything else?
Did we hear from the owner of Tony's Restaurant at all about the parking?
I did have a conversation with them, and that's really the main reason that I wanted this to come before the commission. Ordinarily, this would be one that I could handle administratively, but I wanted the minutes from the meeting to show that we've asked that the parking be properly managed. And I did tell the owner of Tony's that we would make sure that any approval that's granted, clearly indicates that the parking is to be on Mr. Falcone's property, not on Tony's parking lot.
Thank you, Marty.
Donovan. Someone else?
No.
Do you have anything to add or any comments?
No.
No.
All right, well, moving on. I have a motion to approve site plan 1374. The applicant is Harrison Goblet. Is that the correct?
Yeah, you're
spelling, or-
close. It's Goblet. You're as close as anyone can get.
All right, sorry about that.
That's all
Location 622 to 634 Midgen Avenue. Proposal: change of use to indoor recreation, former warehouse, with the following conditions and recommendations. 1, the applicant shall address the comments of Ray Drew, Administrator, WPCA, contained in his memo to the city planner dated 5/5/21. 2, the applicant shall follow the recommendations from Fire Marshal Ed Bissetta contained in his letter to the city planner. 3, the parking shall be properly managed so that customers and tenants do not park in the Tony's Restaurant parking lot. I have that motion. Would someone like to make that, please?
So moved, Tom Tellman.
Thank you, Tom. Do I have a second, please?
Diane, second.
Thank you, Diane. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Good luck. Moving on to
Thank you.
agenda item number 6C, zoning and blight violation update. Marty, we have anything?
I don't, but Mr. Chairman, I do have an application that we'd like to ask the commission to accept with a 2/3 vote, and that would
Yeah, I
be,
was gonna move
Sorry.
that to 6D.
okay,
Uh,
that's perfect if you could do that.
alrighty. Yep. We have an application that was received May 10th of 21 to add to the May 12th, 2021 agenda by a 2/3 vote. It'd be special exception 21-05 and site plan 1376. Applicant Borghese Building and Engineering Incorporated, location 341 Pine Woods Road. Proposal is to construct new 7,200 square foot building, gasoline sales, and 2 retail stores. We would need to set a public hearing date of 6/9/21. First of all, let's move by 2/3 vote to make this vote, please. Do I have a motion?
Donovan Riley, so moved.
Thank you, Donovan. Do I have a second?
Diane, second.
Thank you, Diane. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. And then the suggested public hearing date is 6/9/21. Do I have a motion for that, please?
So moved, Tom Tellman.
Thank you, Tom. Do I have a second?
Diane, second.
Thank you, Diane. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Moving on to agenda item number 7, adjournment. The time is 7:52. We're all done. Have a good evening.
Before, just want to ask the commission if they feel comfortable for the next meeting in City Hall, of course, using, the proper safety, because the governor's executive order actually ends, and I don't have any direction as far as continuing the ability to do all these meetings via Zoom. So my plan was, if the commission's comfortable enough to resume meetings in person in City Hall. Mr. Chairman, could we maybe poll the commission and see how they feel?
Well, first and foremost, Marty, I'm comfortable with that. We'll go to Diane. Your thoughts?
My thoughts are, yes, how would it handle if there was a large town meeting? Same,
Yes,
no
then
restrictions?
I guess what we would do if we needed to, we would limit the number of folks that would be in the auditorium. And then we would, at that point, perhaps do a meeting that is partially Zoom and partially in person, up to the number of people that we could safely have in the auditorium. I know right now that the city council has come back. I think there's one or two members though that have been doing it via Zoom, but they had allowed the public to observe the city council meetings. They put the number of chairs that could accommodate people safely in the auditorium. And if those were filled, then of course people could attend via Zoom. So I guess it would be a hybrid meeting if it was needed.
Okay, and what about, is there any thought about plexiglass, like on the podium and on the actual panel table?
Not sure if right now the city council has that. That might already be there.
Okay.
But
Diane,
I mean,
out of that is being lifted also, correct, Marty? Some of that protocol?
it's being lifted, so I mean, you still have to wear a mask. So everybody would be masked, properly masked, and we would be a proper separating distance apart from each other. So I think it can be done safely.
Right. Then, I mean, as long as that's in place, I guess, then yes, I would be okay with it.
Okay, thank you, Diane. Starley, thoughts?
I'm good with it.
Okay, Donovan?
I'm vaccinated, so
Yeah.
yeah, I'm fine with it. I like to make sure there's a protection in place for people who chose not to be vaccinated. And also my other question, Marty, is, well, is there an expiration date for the order from the governor? Is
It's
that
May 19th.
okay? All right. So, and maybe there'll be further instructions from the governor's office, soon, so that we wouldn't have to decide on our own.
Right. Basically, I'm bringing it up because at the moment we have no instructions continuing it.
Right.
And all the planners in the state are going, what the heck are we supposed to do? Like,
Right.
so I just first of all wanted to see if you were comfortable, and we could try a hybrid meeting for the next meeting if need be.
Yeah, I think Diane's comments are well founded, and I would concur with hers. And if the city council is doing it, there's probably, that might be a good plan to follow. But thank you for asking.
The only thing is I need, it'd be very, very difficult for me to do my usual thing there and run a Zoom meeting, because I'd be getting up and getting files out and all that. So I may need to have, someone help me run the Zoom part of it if we do a hybrid. So that's why I was saying, if we can do it the old fashioned way, that would be great. But if the commission is not comfortable, then I'm willing to try and figure out a way to do a hybrid meeting.
Well, Marty, from your position right there, you don't see anything major coming along right now that's gonna impact the, a large public hearing, right? I mean, the next couple meetings are pretty,
Yeah,
pretty
we don't
small.
have a large apartment building in the middle of a residential zone or anything like
Right.
that at the moment. And if we anticipate that, then obviously we would always have the option to do a meeting, a hybrid meeting, I think. I think
mean,
we've learned, that
there was-
can be a tool that we can use in the future.
Yeah, I mean, even if there was a meeting that was gonna be a little more intense, I mean, is it acceptable to use, thermometers and so forth, and check the public coming in? I mean, can somebody do that? Appropriately
I
or legally?
suppose so. I don't know if, I don't know about that, but I guess you could. I mean,
No, I
they
mean,
check
if it-
the temperature,
You know, if
they check
still
my
kinda on the
temperature
cusp.
every time I go in the YMCA, I get my temperature taken, so I
Yeah,
suppose
yeah.
so.
Okay. All right. Jim, what's your thoughts?
I'm fine, no problem.
Okay, thank you. Tommy?
I don't have any issues.
All right, thank you. All right, and Marty, you know, can you reach out to the rest of to Donna and, or Greg, or you want me to? It's up to you.
No, I'll be happy to contact them tomorrow and just get what their feelings are.
All right, I appreciate it. All righty. Well, again, folks, thanks for your efforts. this
Marty,
evening.
Marty, are you there? Marty, can I speak?
Really, we don't have a public speaking section on the agenda, so.
I had a couple of questions with regard to Mr. Falcone's proposal, but
So give me a call tomorrow and I'll be happy to discuss them with you.
okay, I'm Richard Regis. I live next to John's building.
Right, it's not a public hearing situation. The use proposed, unlike the apartment use where it was a
Yeah.
public hearing, was not one that requires a public hearing. So that's why there isn't that public.
Because I'd
portion.
like to know the hours of operation, Marty. I'd like to
Okay,
know
well,
the hours. You know,
I can discuss that with you tomorrow.
all right, I will speak with you then. And also, we spoke about the dumpster last time.
Mr. Regis,
Yeah.
that's not conversation for the commission at this moment. So
Okay,
we'll talk offline, okay?
all right, thank you, Marty.
Thank you, Mr. Regis. All right, thank you, everyone. Have a good evening.
Good night.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you,
Thank you all.
Chairman.
Bye.
Thanks, Marty.
Bye-bye.
Bye.